You've been hearing about Brock Purdy from us for 24 hours. I want to hear from you. We are here. We are here. Welcome back to the Coaches Huddle where the field meets family. It's your boy, the coach. And we got news. We got real news. Brock Purdy has been extended with a 5-year, $256 million contract, over $181 million guaranteed, $165 million to be allocated over the first 3 years of the season. What say you? How do you feel about this? The link is pinned in the chat. Hop in here. This ain't gonna be one of these 2 to 3 hour love sonnets, okay? We're gonna get in, we're gonna get out. We got 60 minutes, okay? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, did the Niners get hosed? Who won, who lost? How do you feel about it? Positives and negatives. Don't just come in here dogging it, okay? My channel's getting a little bit of a reputation, man. Spread some light and love around, okay? All right? We're going to go as long as the call list shows, all right? Pause. So if it's 4 to 5 people in here, we're going to give guys some latitude to talk a little bit. If we get a nice little line in here, we're going to keep it going. But for the most part, everybody knows the news. On top of it, if you want to touch on some scheduling elements, do that as well. And the last thing you have to do not get off the call without giving your prediction of the Niners 2025 football season. We're starting with JLP first. We're getting him in here. What's up, brother? Talk to me.
How's it going, Coach?
How's it going, man? Hey.
Oh, it's going great. It's going exceptionally great now that we got the deal done.
Right.
I think it was a great deal for both parties. Both parties. Hey, he's not a top pay quarterback.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a great deal. And we're probably going to have an out in like year 3 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after year 3, it'll probably be an out. And at that point, if Kyle Shanahan hasn't produced, it'll be out for him as well. You know? I hate to say it that way, but I think the two are tied together at this point.
Okay. Well, look, I don't mind that at all. Where do you think Brock? Well, I've asked this question, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna coin this my question. Was the deal bigger than Brock, or is Brock bigger than the deal?
I think the deal was perfect for Brock. I think the deal was perfect. I think this was the right amount of money. They didn't get in that $60 million range. That would have been stupid. It would have been that Dak Prescott dumbass deal shit. They didn't get there. Thank God. They didn't even get 55. Anything under 55 is a great deal for both parties. Honestly, this is what he's worth. You know what I'm saying? He's proven he can get to the big game. He's proven he can get to the NFC Championship game. And he's proven he's a decent quarterback. Does he have flaws? Yes.
He does have flaws.
And those flaws are what kept him from getting the $60 million, okay? But at the same time, that helps the team overall because now we're not hindered by it. I mean, this is something that can help us out. And it seems like, now I don't know all the details yet, but it seems like it's front-loaded, which means there won't be a bunch of dead cap when he's gone, if it comes to that. You know, I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping he works out and wins a Super Bowl or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, you know. That's what I'm hoping. But if it comes to the fact that we got to get out of this contract, I don't think it'll be one where we're sitting on a bunch of dead cap like we are right now with players that's elsewhere and we're paying them to go play elsewhere. We're paying Devo this year to go play at Washington.
What differences do you plan on seeing now that Brock is he's the guy? Like, the Cinderella story is over, right? He's got his money. He is essentially what anybody across the NFL that will be getting paid this amount of money. He's the leader of the team, right? When
Not
Nick
a lot
Bosa
of
got paid
difference.
$34 million a year, we said that he was getting paid quarterback money. Well, we got somebody really making quarterback money.
Not
Do
a
you
lot of
see any
differences.
changes?
Not a lot of changes. Not a lot of differences on the field. But the biggest change will be on the field. Will be we won't be trying to hand tailor our offense to Deebo Samuel being on the field. And hopefully we won't be trying to do that with Christian McCaffrey, and you know they will. You know they will. That's the problem. Like, I get that McCaffrey is bad mamma jamma when he's healthy. Christian
Mhm.
McCaffrey is what? 30-something years old and coming off an injury. You know, hopefully he can come back. But I'm not the type to want to put my season on that being the main thing. Like, let's face everything towards, oh, if McCaffrey's good, we're good. Let's not do that. Let's
All
run
right.
out with
So,
a game plan that incorporates everybody in the game plan.
all right. So, do you feel good about the deal? Needless to say, uh,
Yes.
with the 3 years, the 3-year window, let's say, all right, so Brock is making $52 million a year. That's over the 5 years, right? Within the
Yeah.
first 3 years of the front loaded $165 million, he gets, there's an uptick. So he makes $55 million a year for the first 3 years, right?
Yeah.
In those 3 years, I don't know how to ask this question. Did the Niners pay Brock because they understood that within the first 3 years, they would not be pushing for a window, they will be rebuilding? Or did the Niners pay Brock because they felt like, hey, we've got a lockstep, we've got him out of the way. Now we can really push and try to get a Super Bowl within these first 3 years.
That's
What are they
my
doing? Are they
thinking.
punting in the first 3 years, or are they really trying to go to the Super Bowl with Brock in the first?
My thinking is this right here. Okay, we have a cupcake schedule this season. Okay, we're playing the Super Bowl at home. I mean, it's going to be at our home field whether we're in it or not. The last time they played it at our home, Carolina fucking Panthers went to it. And you talking about pissing me off? I hate that. I'm from Carolina and I hate the Panthers because before the Panthers came around, we won 5 Super Bowls. Since the Panthers has been in town, we ain't won one. So I
Hey,
hate the Panthers personally. Okay, you
I
know
got you.
where was
So
they
look,
at when I was growing up?
they weren't around. I mean, I
Exactly.
don't
So
want to
screw
age you.
them.
I don't
You
want to
know.
age you. Okay,
Yeah.
but so let's go ahead and get into one thing before we get out of here. I'm going to do this with everybody who comes up. So look, let's talk about the schedule. Niners are here. Give me your schedule prediction.
I'm gonna go 13-4.
13-4.
Yeah.
Give me your 4 losses.
The Browns game for sure.
Okay,
One,
so the
one
Browns,
or one or both of the Rams games,
that's
and
3.
a game that you're not going to expect us to lose. We're going to lose because we always do that. It could be the Bucks, or it could be the Panthers. You know, it could be anybody. I mean, it's going to be one of those that you're not going to expect us to lose, but we're going to lose one of those.
All right, man. So you got us going 13-4 coming out of the season. You love the
And
deal,
back to the NFC Championship.
and back to the NFC. You better be
Yep.
glad this is a quick show. This is a round robin. I'm about to get Swagglehaus up. Hey, bro, JLP, I love you. I love the engagement, man. Thanks for calling in. I get at you, man.
All right, man.
Swaggle.
What's going on, Coach? Good to see you.
It's so good to see you, man. It's been a long time. How you been?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, I'm feeling okay about the Purdy deal. I think it's I'm more positive than I am negative on it.
Right.
And for a couple of reasons. I mean, I'll throw these out to you, and I'd love to hear what you think about this. But a lot of people have said, you know, Brock Purdy is sort of like a bridge quarterback. And I kind of agree with that, but I'm not necessarily someone who thinks a bridge quarterback is a bad thing to have. Like, I actually think like having a foundation and consistency, knowing that here's a quarterback that he's had success with the Niners, like that's not a bad thing to have, right? Like, don't you want your organization to like be able to build a little bit of a winning foundation. And even if he's like, yeah, he's not the guy, maybe we never win a Super Bowl with him, or maybe in 3 years' time we get rid of him. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily like a bad thing to have. And there, I was thinking about this, like, shout out to Grant. And when you guys all do your 4-man front shows, I think I heard Grant say something like he respects how Minnesota was just like, they're out with Sam Darnold. They're ready to put in, JJ McCarthy. And it's McCarthy. Like, I get it. That's a bold choice, but like, let's see how that works out for them. Because like, what if they flop this year, and it's kind of like, well, you had a bird in the hand and you're going 2 in the bush here. And, I mean, I'm not saying Sam Darnold is, a future Hall of Famer, but they went to the playoffs with him. So like, I don't know. Like, I think we've seen examples of teams discard their quarterbacks, like a, Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, because they thought they could do better. And it's like, I'm sure that they would love to have him now. So I don't know. I think I'm okay with keeping Purdy, even if he's not the franchise guy, even if we're not going to win a Super Bowl. And I think I saw a chart with his salary cap hit, which actually puts him kind of in the middle in terms of like the percentage. So he's kind of getting paid what you would normally get paid. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. That's kind of what I feel.
It wasn't a jarring deal. I got to be honest. Like, once I saw the numbers, I mean, obviously more information is going to come out once we understand how it lays on the cap. But once you saw the guarantees and understanding that they front loaded the first 3 years, where he laid within the AAV amongst his contemporaries with the other quarterbacks, especially right at that Tua range. And they didn't change the market. They set within the market. I can't be mad. I mean, right now our biggest issue right now, this is 50% of my annoyance with the whole Brock Purdy stuff is because really, if he was as good as, the debates say, then we wouldn't be having a debate, right? It would be, we're trying to get him signed. Let's just move on. We got our guy. Pay him what he wants. Like, it was like Nick Bosa. It took a while for him to get paid. It was the 11th hour in true Niners fashion. But there really was no debate on him getting his money, right? So for me, I love the fact that they put him in a position where, guess what? Tua Tagovailoa is a bridge quarterback. They're just not saying it in Miami, right? They're just not saying it, right? So the money where he is right now, Trevor Lawrence is a bridge quarterback. The moment they move on and find something else to move on from this monstrosity, the fact that they've had to prop this guy up because of where they drafted him, so they save their jobs, all right, because that's real, all right? They know that at the moment they get anything viable, then they're going to move on. This is what Brock Purdy signifies for me, in which all of the other respected quarterbacks in his area, in his tier, I believe that all of them should feel this way too. We now have a floor. Brock Purdy is our new floor for the 49ers, okay? We paid him. He's our guy. Now we know that anything that usurps Brock Purdy cannot be anything on the level of Brock Purdy. We know that they have to be a step above what Brock is giving us. So now that he's paid, and I see the numbers, I think that the Niners know he's a bridge quarterback. If not, they would have sold the farm, right? And Brock would have got his 60. All right. So the devil's in the details, but for me, I like the deal. We didn't mortgage our future. We have a lot more room to get. One thing about it is that it kills us in free agency because of the money, but we don't need free agency right now. That's what bad teams do. Okay. Yeah. We need the draft. Okay. Yeah, we need to go get depth. Right. So, so guess what? The Niners have fallen in yet another good problem to have, which is we're not in the market to go get anybody, but we're not in contention to get anybody, even if we could. Right. So, hey, man, I like the deal.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say before, I'll let you go if you got other guests here, but I like it conditionally, assuming that the job isn't over, that if they one day see another potential quarterback that is going to be better, that they'll go for it. Like, I really kind of respect how, like when Kansas City got rid of Alex Smith because they thought Patrick Mahomes would be the guy, or when the Rams got rid of Goff because they had a chance to get Stafford. It's like, I think the 49ers should do just that. And kind of like what you're saying, it's like, here's the bar. But if they can get someone better, I mean, then go for it, you know? So,
yeah, I like it. Before, Jimmy Garoppolo was the bar. Okay.
right.
And that's why this is one thing that people don't want to admit. It's not the fact that Brock was good. It was the fact that he was better than Jimmy so early. That is what wooed everybody in. Nobody wants to admit that, but that is the real point that got Brock, that everybody won over with Brock, is that it wasn't the fact that he was good as a rookie and that he came off the bench and he was Mr. Irrelevant. It was, this kid is better than Jimmy right now. It immediately woke the entire fan base up to, we can have more and we don't have to pay this much to get more. Now that Brock is here, we're waiting for another moment where we get somebody in, and when he starts balling out because Brock is hurt or something happens, guess what? The whole fan base is going to wake up again and say, wait a minute. Yeah. We're paying Brock $55 million a year, and this kid is sitting on it. It's the way of the world, bro. So he's up.
Yeah, totally. And he is better than Jimmy. So
yeah, he is better than Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like anyone who watches the games, the eye test, like maybe the stats don't tell you, maybe the stats are the same, but the eye test tells you this guy's so much better than Jimmy.
It's not even, it's not close.
Yeah.
Hey, but brother, thanks for calling in, man. Give me your score. Give me your schedule prediction. Win-loss record.
I kind of think they're like a 8, 9, or 10 win team. If it breaks their way and everyone's healthy, maybe they get 10. If it doesn't, maybe they're at 8. That's kind of what I would guess.
I got you, brother. Hey, thanks for calling in. I'll talk to you.
All right.
Talk to you. Big Kev.
What's up, brother? All right, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, but to start off with Purdy, like, he earned his money bag. Like, you look at what he's done since he came into the starting position back in 2022. Like, he's earned what he just got paid. He's been to 2 NFC championship games. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's got like 50-some passing TDs. I might be 5 or 5 off, either or, give or take, but he's earned his money bag. My biggest one is I just want a remainder of the offseason and a training camp with no drama, like no injuries to key starters, no behind the scenes BS, that, the media will talk about. I just want a healthy roster, because I think a healthy 49ers roster will have a really solid season. I'm excited to see what Pearsall can do. I think we got robbed last year because I think Pearsall might have been a cog in the offensive scheme last year if it wasn't for his unfortunate incident during the preseason. But I'm excited to see what Pearsall can do. Healthy Ayuk, and hopefully with a healthy Christian McCaffrey can lead our running back core, who I think is a really stout running back core. So I think just stay healthy, no, off the field BS, to drag into the headlines. I think this could be a really good year. And I'm going to echo my brother JLP 49er for life. I could see 12 to 13 wins. And I think he's about,
okay.
I can see 12 to 13 wins. I can see maybe splitting the divisional games between the Rams, maybe the Cardinals. I could see 2 losses coming in the division to the Rams and maybe Arizona, but I can see 12 to 13 wins.
All right. Okay. 12 to 13 wins.
I'm giving 1 loss to the Rams, 1 loss to the Cardinals.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, the Vikings in recent years have had the Niners number. Could be a
we don't play Minnesota this year.
Oh, they don't? Okay, I'm reading it wrong then. Okay, never mind.
It's right here. I'm sorry, brother. Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I think Houston could have their could beat them. I think looking at you got all the Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Indy's right here.
I think Houston, Indianapolis, one Rams loss, one Cardinals loss. I think that could be. I think 13-4 could be the record.
Man, everybody is. I'm surprised that everybody is just so optimistic. We're just about to go from 6 wins to 13 wins in one season with 5 potential rookies playing.
Well, I mean, if you look at in 2020, they finished like with 6 wins or something like that, maybe 7. And in 22, they turned it around, won 10 games, I believe, made it as a wild card team, made it to the NFC Championship game. Then the next 2 years was I want to say division champs and NFC Championship and division champs and Super Bowl appearance. So, I mean, I don't think the people who are seeing a turnaround from last year's wrong, because it happened, after the 2020 season.
If you like it, I love it. Hey, Kev, thanks for calling in. I get at you for the next call-in show, man. Thank you, man.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
Talk to you. Tyler.
Coach.
My man, what's going on? You're giving Fonz vibes today.
No,
you're giving me
I'm thinking.
I need is you just need a pack of cigarettes in your sleeve right now.
I like white t-shirts, Coach.
They give you an egg cream. Going on, man.
I'm great. So, first of all, with the Purdy deal, when I first saw it, Coach, I don't know where the direction of this quarterback room is, because so we get Trey Lance and we move on from Colin Kaepernick, but he's another Colin Kaepernick, but we don't develop him, and we spend 3 first-round picks on Trey Lance. But then
I hate to do this. You know you're my dog too. You know you're my dog.
Yep.
We are not talking about Trey Lance.
I know. I saw
Al Gore's internet.
Saw it on Grant's show
On May 17th, 2025. I will not let you besmirch my platform with talking about Trey Lance when Brock Purdy has just gotten his extension. I'm just sorry.
I love
I'm gonna let you cook, but I just want to let you know, no Trey Lance narratives at all. It's over. Proceed.
I just want to tell him from what Grant's what he would say on his show, but because it really struck me because I didn't realize it until now. So, are we wanting a Kirk Cousins level quarterback, or are we wanting a quarterback that you spent a first-round pick on and actually has high potential in? Or are we just going for a guy that's can, win us, be carried to a championship? I mean, I'm just as based off what I'm seeing, Coach. That's all. But I do love that Purdy got his money. I do love that he got his money. He deserves it. I'm glad that I like Brock, but he is a bridge quarterback, though. And the only other reason why I'm saying this, too, is remember when we had Jimmy? We wanted him to be a bridge quarterback, too, to Trey Lance.
Well, okay. So the difference between Brock being a bridge quarterback is Brock is a bridge to elite.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo were a bridge to nowhere. Okay, that's the difference. All right?
Mm-hmm.
2 words, brother. Results rendered.
Yeah.
Not what it looks like, not how much it costs, not what we spent to get it, not the draft picks we lost to have them.
Mm-hmm.
When the guy came in the building and got under center, what did he do when it was time for him to perform? One thing that you cannot take away from Brock, you're not even a sports fan if you do. Not you hypothetically. But I mean, not you, but just.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Bro, Brock Purdy came in and did his job. He seized an opportunity. He took over, went 5-0 as a rookie. All right. And then in 2023, he he went off. Okay,
Yeah, he
led
went
the
to the
NFL in touchdown percentage, yards per attempt, passer ratings, net yards per attempt in 2023. Big games in the playoffs. Had a massive game in the second half of the Lions game. Good games in the Packers game. I mean, you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, we can. He did execute those game plans. He got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just asking, is he our bridge quarterback to a elite quarterback, or is he a bridge quarterback to, okay, are we just going for above average?
First of all, chill out, Shills. Good Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm just asking. I don't know. That's all
I mean, no, this is like, okay, so yes, Brock Purdy got paid market value because that's what he deserved to get paid for what he's done throughout his career, and where other requisite quarterbacks who have not done what he has done have gotten paid. So Brock Purdy got paid market value. I don't think that we mortgaged the future to get him done, get the deal done. All right. Also, I feel as though that you can still make moves with the team with the deal. It didn't kill us. It didn't. All right.
No, it didn't.
I think and Brock, like I said before, Brock is the new floor. So if there is anything that comes in at quarterback where the Niners want something as a franchise quarterback, it's got to be better than Brock. So I'm happy with that. At least we're level setting. We know where the floor is, and that's Brock. So we're good, right? And what's crazy is that and I should add this as well. Brock still can progress.
Yes,
Can
he
still
can.
get better, right? So, there's that as well.
And I do like that Brock gives you security that he is going to give you some level of, all right, he's going to give you, for a floor, he won 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's his floor right now. But his ceiling, what? Go to the Super Bowl? Because we went to the Super Bowl. So if he gets back to his medium, whatever that is, we're a playoff team.
Listen, I think that Brock can progress, especially off the last performance that he had, the last performance of the previous season. I think that he's going to do well. And he's got no position but to go up. He's got his money. Everybody's out of the way, and we'll play him out for the first 3 years and see if we got an out after 3. I don't even know if we really do have an out after 3. I hope we do, but that's what it would seem. It seems as though that we have an out. All right, so let's get to the schedule, man.
Okay.
What do you got?
So, can you please refresh it? So I've seen it, but I don't remember exactly how the schedule goes. I know the first 4 games are like Jacksonville.
First 4 games are Seattle, New Orleans, Arizona, and Jacksonville.
Okay, we can win all those games. We can win all those
4-0.
games.
All right. We have the Rams in week 5.
And that's the. I got questions about that one. I need to see a lot from this team for me to give me comfort with us beating them. Is it at their place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a lot more. And there's a lot of uncertainty about this team for me to give me a definitive say, hey, we're going to win that game. So after that, so I got us 4-1 for so far.
What is your overall prediction of the schedule?
Well, one thing that I will say that I do like is, one, we have the easiest schedule in the NFL this year, but that's a little bit of and all the teams don't play. We don't play any teams off of buys either this year. That's just kind of nice. So I'm going to say for a floor, I say 9 wins.
9 and 8
for a floor.
That's what I have them. 9 and 8 for a ceiling. Give me your ceiling before you get out of here.
Maybe 12 wins. Maybe 13. And
All right.
12.
13-4.
I guess 13-4.
9 and 8 to 13-4. Hey man, Tyler. Love the engagement, man. Glad you called. Get at me next time, brother.
Have a great day, Coach.
You as well. It's been a while, brother. How you
What's
been?
going on, man? I'm good. What's going on with you?
Man, just been grinding, man. Give me your thoughts, man. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I'm a Brock Purdy homer, so I love it. You know, in my mind, it's a great deal. But it's fair. I mean, it's fair by all accounts. So what better can you do, really?
Okay. So coming in, so what do you think the Niners' approach is going to be now that Brock has gotten paid? Are we all in now that we got our guy?
No, we're not all in yet. We're still in reset mode. I mean, along with what you were saying about free agency, it's like our team got way too greedy. Like what happened to like the smart free agency moves once we were like, oh, Brock's our guy, you know, during his rookie contract, we signed Javon Hargrave. So I kind of like the fiscal restraint that it puts on the team. It's just going to take probably 2026 is when we can really get back into it, and then 2027 I expect to really like the expectations should be really high.
Okay. So what was your initial reactions when you first heard the deal?
I'm all for it, man. I think, you know, just like 2023 got people overhyped for Brock Purdy. I think that it probably rightfully so, just because the conversation was so heated that people probably jumped on him a little bit too much for last season, right? Like if you allocate his touchdowns across the field, right? Really, his interceptions didn't really increase a whole lot. They just, you know, it went from 11 to 12. They were more poorly timed for sure. They happened at worse moments, but you can't really say that there was a substantial increase. But his touchdowns obviously went from 31 to 20, which is a huge decrease. And to me, that's more emblematic of a really, really slow wide receiver core. You know, like if you don't have any speed, you're not going to get any of those freak touchdowns from the middle of the field. It's just not going to happen. You know, Jawan Jennings is not going to break away from anybody. As much as I really like Jawan, you know, I'm not trying to rip him or anything, but he's not going to get you a 50-yard bomb. So, you know, yeah, last season was disappointing, but it's also in a way good for Brock, because the second he came into a loaded team, right, there's adversity there, but like if you look at the normal arc of quarterback development, it's like they dog it for a couple of years before it really is like, okay, I've got everything down. And so you know, trying to make a positive out of what was not the best season is like, hey, you had to do it with less, and it was a lot less in terms of speed, not necessarily talent, right? Like all the receivers are good, but in terms of speed, you know, he had to do different stuff, and he, you know, didn't really perform up to it. I mean, I would agree with that. So I'm for it. I'm happy with the deal. We'll see. It's always a we'll see, but you know, I'm good with it.
Definitely. All right, man. So you like the deal? You feel like it was adequately set? You like where we're going moving forward? Let's get into the schedule, man. You know what? I've started this entire show with, we need to be, you know, diplomatic. You know, I got a reputation on the channel, and I got to be honest. I don't like everybody just agreeing with everything. I do not like. Somebody better come up here and tell me something that they didn't like about the deal. This is ridiculous.
It's a lot of money. I mean, if he regresses further, it'll totally handicap us, right? Like if he doesn't recover a little bit from last year, it'll be bad, right? Like last year he was not good. You know, I can defend him and I can come up with arguments for it, but you know, brass tacks is brass tacks. Like he needed to you know, like he got out of his skis a little bit, right? Like he was reaching a lot. So he was trying to make things happen that just weren't going to happen, and not playing within the offense. And he made mistakes late in games that killed us and games that we could have won, right? So I'm not like all positive about it, but I'm a Brock fan. Like I said, like I'm a homer. Like I think that he came in hot, and there's a reason for that. So I'm willing to ride with it. I'm not going to tell you that we're going to have 13 wins. I think it's like 9 or 10. So
okay, you give me your 9 wins. Here, this is us right here.
Let's see. I think we beat the Seahawks. I definitely think we beat New Orleans.
Okay.
I don't like I do like what the Seahawks did this offseason, but I don't like the Seahawks. I don't like Sam Darnold, so screw him. Beat Jacksonville. We're gonna lose. Probably lose to the Cardinals, lose to the Rams, lose to the Bucks. Who's after that? I can't really see it.
Atlanta, Houston, and New York.
Atlanta, Houston, New York. Beat Atlanta, lose to Houston, beat New York.
Okay, then we got the Rams, Arizona, and Carolina.
I think we're going to split with the Rams. I think we'll be coming on a little bit hotter in terms of defense. So we'll beat Rams and Cardinals. Cardinals will be starting their late season slump that they always have. And then what do we got?
We got Carolina, Cleveland, and then the bye.
Okay. Beat Carolina, lose to Cleveland.
We got, and the last 4 stretch out of the bye is Tennessee, Indy, Chicago, and we close out with Seattle.
We're gonna lose one of those. I'm gonna say
Tennessee or Indy.
I think it's gonna be Chicago.
Okay. Everybody has us losing to Chicago, man. But then we get this dude in the chat, Marcus Newsom, over here talking about the Lions is gonna win the Super Bowl. Bro, y'all, you better stop that. But the Lions are gonna struggle without Ben Johnson. You better get your act together over there, Marcus Newsom. I see you in the chat over there. They frying you too. Hey, so love, man, I love the engagement. Come back next time for the next call-in show. And hey, I'll see you on the next call-in.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Talk to you. Shields.
What's up, Coach?
Talk to me, man. I know you about to go in. You got a pen. Oh, shit.
No, I mean,
Shields got a pen.
Right.
Shields got a pen. What you done cooked up, Shields?
Sure. So I personally, I like the deal in terms of how it unfolded.
Okay.
I had that whole thing last time I was on here, like a couple of shows ago, with that whole Brock situation, looking at all that. And just in terms of everything else the 49ers were doing across the enterprise, how the Purdy deal unfolded, I like it. The money, I don't care. It's not my money. He got paid. I'm just glad the deal got done.
That's the OG call.
And,
I feel that.
Because, hey, I'm not counting nobody else's money. I count my money, right? So
it's all about the deuce.
Yeah. But here's the thing is that when I think it was at the end of the season, Brock said he wanted to get things done before OTAs. That was kind of what the team was talking about. And then he sort of looked at all the different other chess pieces the franchise had on the board. It sort of made it seem that the organization brought Brock in and sort of gave him more of a perspective on everything that they were doing, so that there were expectations set. And so there was an alignment between Brock and the Yorks going further back, into the end of the season. He had an idea of how things are going to unfold, and that we dramatics that we've generally been seeing with the organization the past few years. They're trying to sign somebody big, so it sort of indicates to me that we're on a pathway to solving the primary problem we had last year, and wasn't Brock. He was a problem in terms of his execution at certain points and on certain plays. But we all watched the games last year. The team looked like garbage. Let's be for real.
Yeah, they were bad.
There was no. I think you might be able to point to 2, maybe 3, if you're generous, drives the entire season that looked right. They looked wrong. The team, the offense, the defense, special teams, everything just looked wrong the entire season. And it just was very clear they weren't all on the same page. And people would point to injuries and make excuses. I'm not making excuses for nobody. But the fact of the matter is that whatever was happening in that organization, they were not all on the same page, and it showed on the field. And it led to interceptions. It led to drives falling apart. It led to having some of the worst red zone defense in the league. It was a problem just as an organization. So the fact that they brought Brock in, that he then got the deal done, kind of how he was saying, "Hey, I hope it gets done before OTAs," kind of foreshadowing that, and that's how it played out. It gives me some confidence that the organization is getting onto the same page organizationally. They have, Purdy coming out, and he spent a lot of time with Jake Cowing, Ricky Purcell, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, getting onto the same page. Like, they spent time throwing the ball around. And it sort of gives me some, positive feeling that they're taking this time out of their own time to do that. It's not a team thing they're doing. They're trying to get on the same page because they have a desire to, like, hey, we know that this wasn't right last year. Let's get right. So I feel good about how things are playing out. Money wise, first of all, this whole talk about elite quarterbacks, we got to stop it, man. We're putting way too much on the quarterback position. Yes, the quarterback is the most important position on the offense and all that, yada, yada, yada. But let's be factual about it. There's 10 other guys out there that I don't care how good your quarterback is. If you guys aren't all on the same page, if you guys all don't execute together, if you guys are playing as a unit, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. Let's just stop the whole, elite quarterback. Are we having a bridge to elite quarterback or not? Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Brock could get hurt in preseason. He could have a career-ending injury in practice. We don't know. So, this whole idea of being a bridge to whatever, I don't care about that. What I do know when I see him, he can run the offense. He can run it very well. And the fact that he can do that, I'm fine with that. Is somebody else going to come along and replace him? Obviously, that's going to happen because, not everyone's Tom Brady playing till 70 years old, right? That's just not what we see in this league. So he's going to be in the league for however long he's for. He's going to get replaced at some point in time. Let's focus on what's happening now. 49ers aren't getting to the Super Bowl next year. I don't see them, even if they got the NFC Championship game somehow.
Hold on. Let me run that back.
Yeah.
You said the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl next year?
No, I said not. They are not.
Okay. All right. My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
The reason why it's not going to happen is because I don't see, from what we've seen so far from the 49ers and what their offensive line looks like, they are going to get murdered by the Eagles if they make it to the NFC Championship. The only way the Eagles aren't in the Super Bowl again next year is if some massive catastrophes happen across their organization in terms of injuries. That's the only way it happens.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I don't. I think a lot of teams got, we tend to do this all the time. This is a very male-driven atmosphere in space, and we mansplain a lot of shit just to act like we got things under control. We don't know who's good and who's bad. We don't know. All we know is what all of these colorful lines and this stupid ass ticker and all of this shit that makes us look like we know what it's talking about. We don't know, bro. We could be walking into getting our ass whooped against Chicago. They could be a whole team. We're sitting here saying that this is the only thing that says that this team is, that this schedule is weak coming up is based off of what happened last season. Right. Teams change, man. Teams get better, bro.
But you asked for predictions, though. So that's I feel like, hey, every season, you might have some of the same players on your roster, but every year it's a new team. So you can't really tell who's going to be doing what along the way. I'm speaking in terms of what we saw last year from the Eagles. Mm-hmm. I don't see who in the NFC is really competing. I'll see if somebody cuts down their defensive line, they can shut down their defense and cage up Saquon Barkley and then keep people from catching passes. And okay, sure. But in terms of the squad that the Eagles have built and their draft they had, I don't know. The Eagles look really good, and they look even better after the draft. So that's why, for me, I'm saying that even if the Niners made it to the NFC Championship, they would not get past the Eagles. They don't have the roster to do it. They don't have the defensive line. The offensive line to stand up to the Eagles' defensive line. They would be it'd be terrible. The only thing the Niners might have going for them that the Chiefs didn't have is they might have a better running game, maybe, depending on how Christian McCaffrey comes back and what Jordan James is, right?
Okay.
It's development from Garendo. So they have a possibility of not looking as bad as the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl, but I don't see them getting past the Eagles, right? Even if they made the NFC Championship game.
Okay, so going into the schedule then, you like the deal schedule-wise. Where do you have us going? I need raw numbers. Pause. Where do you feel where do we shape up this year?
It's gonna see, the problem is we haven't seen what these people do yet. We haven't had a chance to see them play. So it's really hard to say because this whole season is highly dependent on what happens with the rookies on the defensive line. And we're still in a situation where Collins and West, the last time I saw, haven't signed a deal. I don't like that vibe, but hopefully we get past that. If they get everything and start shaking everything out, I think they go 4-0 to start the season. I think they lose to the Rams.
Okay, so 4-1. We got Tampa Bay next.
Tampa's a problem. We have problems in secondary, so I'm 50-50 on that one. So I'll just chalk it up to a loss. I think overall.
So that's 4-2.
I think at the end of the season, you're going to lose to Chicago.
Okay, 4-3.
And largely, a lot of what we're seeing from Caleb Williams last year, from the reporting that we were hearing, had a lot to do with just how terrible their organization was. And they got Ben Johnson now. So I think they're going to be a problem for the league. I think they're a problem for the 49ers. So that's a loss.
Okay. You're at 4-3 right now. So you skipped all the way to week 17, but you left off at week 6. That put us at 4-2. You had us losing to the Rams and to the Bucks. Atlanta in week 7.
Win.
All right. Houston in week 8.
I think we got that.
6-3. The Giants in week 9.
Giants? I don't like that field, man. That field, I'll just give us a win. That's
all right. 7-3. The Rams again in week 10.
I think we split with the Rams, so I think we get the Rams here.
7-4. No, okay. 8-3. Arizona.
Is this the first or second Arizona game?
Second. So
if you didn't have me down for a loss in the first Arizona game, I'll put that up for a loss. Split with Arizona since it'd be a win.
8-4. Carolina week 12.
Week 12, Carolina?
Yeah.
What do they have down there anyway? I mean, what are they doing? I'm not too familiar with the Panthers.
Bryce Young, they just got Ted McMillan. They got Xavier Legette. They got they got a nice ass corner over there, JC Horn. Defense is coming up. They just got a new head coach. Bryce Young finished off the last year. Bryce Young finished off the season relatively well, kind of bounced back.
What if they have me there? I'll say we get the Panthers.
All right, so that's 9-4. Cleveland.
It sounds like Cleveland, man. Shannon has a problem with them, so I'll take that as a loss.
9-5. Bye, Tennessee.
Come on, it's the Titans, man.
10-5. Indiana.
So what happened with Richard? Who was their quarterback? He took himself out of the game. Has he solved that problem?
Richardson.
Is he shaking?
We're gonna beat Indiana, bro. I'll just save you the suspense. 11-5. Chicago. You got that a loss. That's 11-6. Seattle. What you got the last game?
Oh, we get Seattle. I think we take Seattle.
All right. So we got way too many games because 11-6 is 18 games. So we fucked up somewhere. But hey, thanks for the call, Shills. I get at you. See you on the next call in, brother. Broccoli. What's good?
What's going on, man? He said 11-6. We got too many games here.
I just be winging this shit, dog. Hey,
how you been though? What's
I've
going
been
on?
good, bro. You about to get me talking like we on the phone, bro. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Don't you coming in way too casual, dog.
It's
Chill,
been a
bro.
minute though. Hey man, what can I say?
Hey, I'll get at you later, man. Talk about the deal, bro.
Okay. Talk about the broccoli. He's not elite. I don't think we should have paid him that much, but it does give us a little bit. But I still think we should have paid him maybe 40 and really try to go get an O line because broccoli was put on his pockets a lot.
40,
So you
bro.
know,
That's
huh?
sacrilege, man.
No,
40?
no, 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 no. 40, throw in some incentives, maybe get him a crib by the beach somewhere, whatever you got to do. But, I just don't think he was worth the money he got. That's all. I never, I truly believe Broccoli has benefited off of being, being in San Francisco, straight up. Um,
Yeah, I believe that.
So, 50, he's not, I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes. He's not any of the quarterbacks that we think about when we consider a quarterback. And as a Niner, it sucks to say that,
But
but
he's
it
not
is
getting
what it is.
but yo, Naf, he's not getting paid like one of those guys either, though. Like that,
Well, I know,
you gotta put that in it.
well, I know, but that's the conversation people are trying to. That's the conversation they're putting them in, right? They're putting them in that realm because earlier in this in the off season, what did they say? Oh, he's elite money. He's worth 50. We were chucking. We were mad at 50. We were saying 35, 40. Everybody was saying that. Now that he got 50, it kind of validates some of these individuals that
I
really
think
believe he's an elite quarterback.
what I believe is that the Niners, they gave him money to not only respect Brock but respect the market. I believe before that, I will too. Yes, there were a lot of people saying, "Man, Brock deserves the Baker Mayfield deal. Brock shouldn't get more than what Sam Darnold just got. Brock shouldn't
Hmm.
get more." And I get all of that. That was out there. So I'm not gonna cap like that wasn't there. All right. However, Baker Mayfield has never done what Brock Purdy has done. He's never had he's never had that success. Now, albeit say that Baker Mayfield has never been on a team like Brock Purdy, which we understand, but you still got to go out and perform. All right.
But it makes it a little easier though.
Being counted with Brock Purdy at a certain number that's below the status of what you've been saying about him. All right, yeah, you could do that with Brock, but it kind of is egg on the face of the Niners because that's not what Jed and them have been saying for like the past 3 years. They've been saying, like, this is our guy. This is our guy. And if you look at it, it's still a bridge. He gets 52 million a year. He's right at the 1.5 tier of quarterbacks. He's getting paid right in that Tua range, which let me just ask you this. Is Tua Tagovailoa better than Brock Purdy?
That's tough. I don't know. I don't know. And I'll say this, right? I would say if we had Tua, right, and
Right.
with Kyle, because at the end of the day, Mike McDaniel's, where did he learn from? So if we have Tua with us, I don't know because I don't know. I couldn't
All
tell
right,
you. I just don't.
I'll get off.
Uh-huh,
I'll get off to it. I'll get off to it.
uh-huh,
Is
uh-huh.
Brock Purdy better? Is Brock Purdy better than Trevor Lawrence?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely,
Then you
definitely.
should be mad about this deal. Trevor Lawrence is making
No,
50.
but I was mad that Trevor. No, that's all because I was mad about that too. Trevor, I couldn't believe they gave Trevor Lawrence that
The
money.
market, the
That's why
market
they
is
in the
right.
situation they're in now. They hoping Travis Hunter can play wide receiver and DB and punter. Like they
But Trevor Lawrence hasn't had nearly the type of success that Brock Purdy has had.
Well, once again, though, okay. So what we cannot do, I hear you. Your truth is true. My truth is true too. Two things can be true at the same time. Trevor Lawrence also is not in the position as Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy literally was given a Bentley. He was in as a rookie, so he didn't come off of injuries like some of these other quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield's we've met. Imagine a young, fresh, hungry Baker Mayfield with the Niners, with Kyle Shanahan, all the flash, all the bling. That's his personality. Oh man, he's not putting it in cruise control. I tell you that. I feel like the offense, the team looks like on cruise control with Brock. With somebody like
we look crazy doing the whataboutism. We can't do that. We got to deal with every team. Listen, Trevor Lawrence was the best thing smoking for 4 years before he even got into the NFL. He was a can't miss prospect. Okay, that's how he was talked about. All right, you can't. It's like you can't say that these other guys weren't on, talented enough teams to have the type of success that Brock did. But then at the same time, Brock had to fight through 3 levels of quarterbacks and starting jobs to get on the field and actually perform. The kid started 5-0. Look, this is my thing. I would be having your conversation if Brock Purdy was making $60 million a year. If Brock Purdy was making $57 million a year, $58 million a year, I would be having your conversation like, we got hosed. They did way too much. They did not have to pay him this type of money. That's ridiculous. All right. But if you look at the market and where they paid him, can't be mad, man. Has Brock had more success than Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Come on.
But here's the thing, though. There's a big elephant in the room. And real quick, as far as those other guys, one thing we have to understand is these guys are athletes. When you look at Brock, he doesn't look like an athlete. Trevor Lawrence looked like an athlete. That's why he had projected to go high. These other individuals have different obstacles that, thank God, Brock doesn't have to face. Because I just don't.
It looks like Nafka. It's about what gets it done. How many of your boys go around here talking about all of the IG models they be rapping with, but you see their baby mama and you be like, hey.
No. Your call is no. You can't do that. I'm just spitting facts.
That's going crazy.
Okay, so let me ask you a simple question. Let me ask you a simple question. Who do you feel is more athletic, Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Really?
Trevor Lawrence is a bigger
Interesting.
athlete.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you think, but if I'm talking about who utilizes what they do the best, man, I'd take Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy gets more out of his skill set than Trevor Lawrence does, in my opinion.
Right. But that doesn't. So who's more of an athlete? Like, just because you use your skill doesn't mean you're like Brock Purdy doesn't look like it. If we ask 10 out of 10 people, they'd be like, Trevor Lawrence looks more of an athlete than Brock Purdy is what I'm trying to get at. But that's
right, okay, right.
it is what it is.
Right. Who looks like more of an athlete? What's the back that we got from Oklahoma? Trey Sermon or Frank Gore? Who looks like more of an athlete?
Sermon all day.
Who the hell is a better athlete?
Frank Gore all day.
All right.
I hear you. But Brock ain't no Frank though. But Brock ain't no Frank. We ain't doing no what is because Brock ain't no Frank. But I hear you. It's all good. We can move on to the next because I'm gonna end up holding up all the other colors.
Schedule prediction, brother, real quick.
So I heard you on high low ceiling. So I'm going 10 wins, 7 losses is low, and then as a high, you might laugh. It's okay, but 14-3.
All right, brother.
I know you was gonna laugh. I just wanted to make you laugh. I watched everybody else there. I'm like, man, make this dude laugh. I'm gonna make him laugh.
Hey, you my guy, man. I'll call in next time, brother.
Hey, much love, family.
Much love. Talk to you. Hey, boo-way. Coming in here with that Fayetteville State nonsense.
I got bad news for you. I just left the budget meeting. We cannot afford to pay you to be the coach. Sorry.
Nah.
It was there.
Yeah, dog. We gonna mop the floor with you chumps.
Bet. Bet. Trust me. I'm looking for you.
Let's go, Fayetteville. Come on here with Frank Fayetteville State. I know where you from.
Are you sure? Making sure.
Coming in here.
It's been a while. I'm making sure.
Shoot.
But hey, listen though, as far as the deal, honestly, because of the market, I'm fine with it. Not a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
And I think also too how they did things. I listened to Krug last night, how they front end the deal. So towards the end, if Brock Purdy is like messing up or not who they want him to be, hey, him, Kyle, John, deuces, and start fresh. You know. So for me, it's like
Jed got the sand to move on from Jed. I mean, Jed's got the sand to move on from Kyle.
Well, that's one of my 3 big question marks coming into this season. One, has Kyle learned from his past mistakes as far as coaching and maturity level? 2, is he going to let Brock Purdy cook? Because when you pay somebody kind of money as a quarterback, you want some more freedom, audibles, check downs, whatever. So will Kyle let Brock cook? You know what I'm saying? So to me, I have even more question marks now than I did last year. Because again, last season, it surprised me. Loser of the big game, the next year, they suck. So for me, last year, I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? Along with the injuries too. So this year, with Brock Purdy's new deal. Now, the good thing is the 49ers didn't do the usual BS, wait until August. They got things done middle of May. Good. Everything in order, organized structure. And for what I've seen so far, everyone's coming in for the voluntary workouts, particularly on defense. So I think there's a new energy, having a solid back. I think it's going to be a more promising year than last year. But again, I don't see greatness at all.
All right. So we'll take that. Let's roll that over because I feel like we don't want to be redundant. I feel the same way you do. So let's roll it to the schedule. How do you feel about the schedule?
Well, I'll say this. The Rams will beat us bad at least one time. I already see it. Which game? I have no idea. They're going to beat us bad one time. And the funny thing is, going into last year, Shanahan owned McVay. And last year when the Rams beat us, it was more Kyle being outcoached. But I think this year, matter of fact, one of the games you did a live stream of, in the third quarter, I think in the fourth quarter, we had like a 10-point lead. And for some reason, Cal kept going to Debo. It kept play calling. So that, to me, the losses to the Rams last year was more on Kyle, not Brock and the team, my opinion. But I think this – so what?
We don't – there's never really a time where we finish a game and people are admitting that we got outcoached. That never really happens. That like publicly, like from a national media standpoint, we get outcoached all the time, and that never comes up when we lose games.
Last year there were at least 4 games where I think Kyle cost us. We should have been a playoff team last year, but I think those 2 Rams games, the Cardinals, one of those Cardinals games, that's 3 victories right there. We could have been a wild card last year. You know, but I think this year the Rams have a top to bottom better team. So I think they're going to beat us bad at least one time. The game that no one talks about, Cleveland. At Cleveland, we're going to lose that one. Because Schwartz has Kyle's number. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to lose to Cleveland. We're going to lose. I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, if we lost that Monday night game to Carolina. I would not be surprised. Late in the season, and I think how Bryce Young had finished last year, his bounce back. Now, am I picking them to win the game? No, but if they won that game, I would not be surprised. Houston, I think, is a toss-up, and also Tennessee is also a toss-up. Seattle, I think, will sweep that series. Arizona.
First and last game of the season?
Yeah, I can see us winning both in the last game of the season. Arizona, I think we will, at worst case scenario, split, but I would not be surprised if Arizona sweeps us this year.
Damn. All right. So overall record, what do you got us at?
I got us winning at the most 8 or 9 games. I think our ceiling is 9.
Hey, love the engagement. Turn on that AC. I'll holler at you later, brother.
Deuces.
All right. Nick.
Yo, what's up, Coach?
What's good, brother? Talk to me. How'd you feel about the deal?
I feel
I mean, I expected it obviously to get done, which was a good thing that it happened early for the first time in how many off seasons did they do something this early?
Mhm.
Um, I mean, 52, 53 million a year. I mean, that puts him right in the Goff, Tua, that lane, which,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking, he's a tier 2 quarterback. And in my opinion, Brock is probably like in the top 3 of the tier 2. That's just what he is. And that slotted him perfectly because he could have made a bigger deal out of it if he wanted to, saying like, hold up, Trevor Lawrence is getting 55. Like, what are we doing here? Like
Yeah.
that's just like the market. And like, if I was his agent, that's what I'd be. I would have been like, yo, it's 55 and that's it. That's all we're talking.
Yeah.
Because, but I guess Brock wanted to take a haircut. Because also, if you think about it, like, Brock makes so much more money playing for the 49ers than he would playing for the Tennessee Titans. You know what I'm saying? Just from like a
Yeah.
branding, advertised perspective. That's why like
Yeah.
Dak taking 60 is crazy to me. Because like Dak, just take like 5 million off and you're gonna make all that back and more off the field. Like you're fine. Like,
I
like
think Dak goes for his money because there's an element to him and his representation that knows just how dysfunctional the Cowboys are. And he's going to make them pay every red cent for using his likeness as the face of their franchise.
right.
It's
Yeah.
like, you guys are a shit show and you're going to pay me for being for
Yeah.
staying out of trouble.
You got me
And
Brian Schottenheimer this year, guys. I'm taking my
yeah,
60 million.
yeah, exactly. I'm taking my 60. You guys can't even hire the right guy. I'm taking my
Yeah.
60.
Another thing I like about it too, I think I saw it on like X or whatever. It was like a breakdown of how much the quarterback counts for the cap in like their percentage. And Brock was
Mhm.
at like 14, I think, which
That's
is a
not
good number.
bad.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little over you. I think the threshold is like 12 or
yeah,
13%.
I'm not sure exactly what I saw, but I think that was it. And obviously like I think like the top 3 guys were like Herbert, Burrow, and like it was some like it might have been Dak, maybe. Maybe Dak
Dak,
counted for like
Burrow, Allen.
yeah.
Oh, Jordan Love.
Oh, Jordan Love, that was the guy I was missing. Yeah, they're counting for like 22, 23. I think
Mhm.
Brock's only like 18-ish. I think maybe something like
Yeah.
that. So that's another good thing I like about it. But yeah, I mean, they got it done at a good time. So now we can just roll into OTAs and get this thing rolling.
You
And
see any shifts in the building now that he's got his money? You think Brock's going to have more ownership over the offense?
so the only thing I would, if I was Brock, the only thing I would really bang my hand on the table for is probably pass pro and just like making sure the line's in the correct spot. Because we've talked about it so many times. Kyle doesn't like his line changing protections, like just stick to the play. So
Yeah.
if Brock can like maybe Brock could just be like, hey, can we start trying it out a little bit? I'm not saying I need full range, but maybe we have a couple calls here and there where if I see something, I can change it up. Just because sometimes we just get caught with our hand in the cookie jar. Kyle calls the wrong play and it's just over before it even begins.
Mm.
So
Hell yeah. Hey, so let's switch over to the schedule.
I'm
How do you
very
feel about it?
interested in the first 4 games because of the division.
And
That
we
could
got 3
really,
games. It's
yeah,
3 games.
which like my dad's also a big 49er fan, so we always talk on the phone, and he was like, I just don't like. He even said it, he's like, I don't like division games this early. I think they're just bad football. And week 1 in Seattle, like
Bro,
regardless, it's like not even like I'm scared of Seattle or anything. It's just like, do we really got to play a division game week 1? Those
you know
week
what
1
they
games
hit
are
us
always
with?
sloppy.
They hit us with the Alabama Clemson on a neutral site.
Yeah, it's just
Like
like
it's like, bro, why does our season have to be all or nothing right in the
yeah,
week open? It's
like
like grand opening, grand closing.
yeah, I would feel a lot better if we like started at New Orleans and then went like Seattle, Arizona, Rams. Like that would be fine to me. But like division game week 1's tough. That's tough.
All right, so work them out for me. What do you
Yeah.
got overall?
I got us probably let's see. So I got Seattle as a win in Seattle.
Okay.
I got win at New
New Orleans
Orleans.
in week 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Win against Arizona.
Okay. Jacksonville.
Win against Jacksonville.
Rams.
Loss against the Rams.
Okay.
Lost
Tampa.
at Tampa, even though we do play Tampa pretty well. Like that's one thing I will say.
They're the only
But
playoff team we beat last year.
yeah, but I think Tampa's better than us this year, so I'm gonna go Tampa.
Atlanta.
Win.
At Houston.
Loss.
At New York.
You know how the Niners always have a stinker one game where we're just like, what are we watching?
Is this it?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. All right. Then we go home. We got the Rams again.
Win. We're gonna split with the Rams.
Split.
We're gonna
Arizona,
we're gonna win that game.
Carolina on Monday night,
We're gonna win.
Cleveland in Cleveland.
See, that game's a tricky one just because the Jeff Schwartz thing, but also because like the weather. Like if we have good weather, I actually feel confident that we're gonna win that game just because Cleveland's quarterback play is gonna be atrocious.
That is very true. Week 14 by Tennessee.
Win.
Gotcha. Week 16, Indiana.
Win.
17, Chi-Town.
Loss.
Seattle, close out the season.
Win.
Damn. You guys are really baking on this week season stuff. Okay.
But you know what the thing is, Coach? I like doing the whole schedule talk because it's a fun topic and whatever. But realistically, we don't know who's good, who's not good. Like
we have this is a thought exercise.
Yeah, bro. like how many of those teams, like how many good teams going into the 25 season that we talk about are going to end up being like a 6-7 win team? Like
nobody called Minnesota being that damn good.
Right. Like, yeah. And like the whole I know a couple callers have been talking about the whole Brock Purdy, like the money aspect, but like, and like the whole like, oh, Sam Darnold, he should have got Sam Darnold money. Guys, like Sam Darnold talks on public airways about what Brock Purdy did for him. Like we're talking about his backup here.
Math ain't mathing.
Right. Like we're talking about his backup here. Like, could we relax with it? Like, you know,
I think it's time for people to they got to let go of this whole draft.
Right.
The way he came into the league, that's over, bro.
And the whole thing
he's
where
a grown man.
He like where I look at the contract is like, would I take him over Tua? Absolutely. And a big factor is because Brock can move, Tua can't. That's just facts. Jordan Love, I like is Jordan Love more talented than Brock Purdy? Yeah. Is he a better player? No, I'll take Brock.
Then that don't mean shit. Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly.
So I wouldn't take Jordan Love over Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, we're both taking Brock, obviously. Jared Goff, I like Goff, but I'm taking Brock over him.
He's 31.
Right, that and Brock can move. We saw what we did to Jared Goff in the second half of the NFC Championship. If you get Goff off his spot, he's in trouble.
Trash.
Yeah. So I'm taking Brock over him too. So is Brock's probably like the 8th?
He's where he belongs. Yeah. He finally is where he belongs. Yeah. So hey, I love it. Let's get up next time when we talk. I got like 3 or 4 more guys, bro. We got to get out of here. Coach. Love the call. Thank you so much for waiting too, brother.
Yeah, no worries.
Talk to you. All right. JC, thanks for waiting, brother. Talk to me. You muted.
I don't like, yeah. Can you hear me?
I got you, bro.
Man, I don't like the contract thing. Oh, man, come on, man. What are we talking about? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got one.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Talk to me. Why, man?
Man, I got him between that Baker and Geno. That's where I got him at. He had 1 year. 1 year, $53 million for 1 year? Like 1 year. He's always hurt. He gave us 1 year. Can I say he's better than Baker? Absolutely not. Baker went to Cleveland, got them to the playoffs, and that total dysfunction. Then went to Tampa Bay. Both his receivers got hurt last year. Got them to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Baker hasn't had the coaching staff in the organization like San Francisco. San Francisco won them, let's just be honest, but we didn't get them, just like we didn't get Stafford. If he goes to San Francisco, we're having a completely different conversation. Completely different.
All right, so I got something for you. Something for you. It's really about what job you want the guy to do. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when I hear about conversations about a guy that did basically more than what Brock had to do with less talent at a bad team, I look at that from a completely different trajectory. One's job is to clean up a mess, and another's job is to build something. That's 2 different things, all right? When you watching Baker Mayfield do the best he can with a shit squad, every completion, every first down, every win looks completely different because you know what he's playing with. You know what's there. With Brock Purdy, my thing is that we had a guy who was curated in Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the thing. We did this before he got here. That's what killed us. We paid Jimmy Garoppolo, as you know. I'm going to save you all of this story. You know, we paid Jimmy. And the thing is that Brock came in, and you know that boy wasn't getting a lot of time in practice. And he came in and showed that he was better than what we have been given. We made Jimmy the highest paid quarterback in the league when we gave him his deal. And how many games did he play? 8.
Correct.
and we
Correct.
paid him. Brock
No,
paid
he played 5, right?
5, and we
Yeah.
paid him, and we paid
Yeah.
him. So look, Brock,
Was that a
he
mistake?
came in, huh?
Was that a mistake?
No,
To make Jimmy the highest paid quarterback off of 5
hell nah,
games?
hell
Oh,
nah. Let me look.
you wildin'.
Okay. I love that. Let me tell you why. Because they had the forethought to understand if we get ahead of the quarterback market now, that deal is going to look better with years to come, and it's going to allow us to build a team. That's what I like about this deal. Brock is not even we're not resetting the market. He's getting paid adequate to where he belongs. But that $52 million a year is going to look like a steal in 3 years. It's going to look like a steal. All right. So that's all I'm saying is that Dak Prescott is making $60 million a year. He ain't going to be the highest paid guy for long. You know that.
Okay. Is that a bad contract?
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence, is that a bad contract?
Oh, yeah, that's a horrible contract.
Tua, they gave him the money after having concussions. So we know that was a bad contract.
Yeah, that contract is on meth.
Kyler Murray, they gave him the contract and said, you need to stop playing video games. So they knew it was potential for a bad contract.
Right.
Like, how many of these, what has Jordan Love done to make $50 million, $55 million or whatever? He didn't do nothing before. He ain't did nothing since.
That's the Packers problem.
But that's my point. It's an inflated market. I don't have to sit here and go along with like buffoonery and absurdities just because the people in front of me did. Like, absolutely not. Like, I believe he's a good quarterback, a solid quarterback, but I don't believe he's better. I don't think he's better at all than Baker Mayfield. I would have him between that 33 to 37, maybe max, if I'm feeling generous, max 40. But I absolutely would. How off of one season? He's always hurt. We just gave Jimmy the money, and Jimmy was always hurt. So now we come back, double down, and give it to another guy who's always hurt off of one season?
Look, bro, he's done more with the team than it took Jimmy 5 seasons to do. He's done more with the team.
What did he do?
Went to the Super Bowl. Went to
Did Jimmy do that? Did Jimmy do that? And what they do in the Super Bowl? They did the same thing. They didn't win the game. They didn't lose the game. They were just along for the ride.
You kind of cooking me. Look,
I'm just saying, come on, bro. His career is mirroring Jimmy Garoppolo. Short stint of games, got hurt, big payday, went to the Super Bowl, lost the same way. Very next season, got banged up, missed the playoffs. We're basically, this is Groundhog Day, and I'm calling you Bill Murray right now because you don't want to watch the movie. What are we talking about? I'm not saying Brock is not good. That would be disrespectful and that would be intellectually dishonest. I'm not saying Brock's not good.
You're not being honest.
No, nobody's saying that. But what I am saying is $53 million when I'm listening to y'all go down the schedule and I'm sitting there like, I didn't even do the
league, dog.
Yeah, but the market is inflated. Why do I have to sit here and go along with an inflated market? I'm looking at all of these examples in front of me of big money to their guys, and they're not even going to the playoffs.
Okay, so this is the thing that's crazy about what you're saying right now, is that the Niners could possibly have a mutiny on their hands. You can't talk about market when you have the guys on the team not only getting paid above market, but setting the market. Like Trent Williams set the market.
Was he the best in the league?
No.
Who is better than Trent?
Worse.
Okay. You mean now or when he got the money?
When he got the money.
Okay. I mean, that's debatable though. But you need a left tackle to protect your quarterback.
Hey man, get up, man. Shut up, Jones.
I said trade. I called every Bay Area radio station because I'm here in California. I said I would have traded Nick Bosa. I would not have given him that money because I felt he's maxed out his body. He's maxed out his potential. I would have never given him that money. So, I mean, I hear you. Guys making big money, but they're overpaying guys. And what the hell has he done since he got the big money? Nothing. 2 seasons back to back.
Listen, all of the quarterbacks are overpaid. You know what I'm saying? I think right now
No,
you got
not
me on
all of
you
them.
got me on
Not
my
all of them.
this is what's crazy. You got me on my heels right now because you got a point that I agree with, but it's just you're getting
Is
behind
Baker
it in the wrong.
overpaid?
No, he's not overpaid.
Is Gino overpaid?
No, he's not overpaid.
Do you believe Goff is overpaid?
Yes.
Correct. Thank you. So I looked at the list of the top 10 quarterbacks. I'm gonna say at least 7 of those dudes overpaid.
Okay, I can tell you who's overpaid right now. Jordan Love is overpaid.
Overpaid.
Tua Tagovailoa is overpaid.
Yes.
Jared Goff is overpaid.
That's
Justin
3.
Herbert is overpaid.
That's
Kyler Murray
questionable,
is
but go ahead.
overpaid. Who?
5.
Justin
I
Herbert?
said, yeah, because that whole coaching staff and he's put up great numbers. He just didn't live up to it in the playoffs. But the regular season numbers has been there though. But I'll even give you that. Fine. That's overpaid. That's 5 then. That's 5.
Yeah.
That's 5.
Deshaun Watson is overpaid.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
I mean, shit, he's making 46 a year.
No, he's overpaid because he's
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, he's not playing. But I mean, listen, I feel like your debate is Brock Purdy got overpaid, ergo, because all quarterbacks are overpaid. I can't
correct.
disagree with that. They're all, yes. So if that's your argument, it's cool. They are, yes, Brock Purdy got overpaid in the guise of the position does, it is inflated. I'll give you that. But outside of that, let's look at the market.
Okay.
Inside of the inflated market, was Brock Purdy adequately placed?
Where do you have him in between 1 and 15? Let's just say
He's the seventh best. He's the seventh highest paid quarterback in the league right now.
no. I mean, like as far as play, like where do you have him as far as play on the field?
I got him fringe top 10.
So like 11,
10 to 12.
10, and 10, 10,
like
10 to 12.
10 to 12 in a bigger debate, 10 to 15. But in that, he's like hovering around the end of 10.
I got him between 10 and 15 because I'm including health. I'm including
Okay.
health.
Okay.
Like that's significant, bro. These little knick-knack injuries that he's had in the ribs and did his shoulder have to get cleaned up last
That
year?
shit
He
ain't
was
going
wearing a
nowhere.
shoulder sling. That's what I'm saying, bro.
They feel, but they're okay with that though. That's not going anywhere. They're just okay.
I mean, but what options do they really have though?
None.
They've
That's why
walked.
they paid him.
They've walked themselves into a corner.
Now you are, the answer is in your question. Yes, that is why part of the reason why they paid him. There's nothing else. What else could they do?
You could say,
roll
hey,
out Matt Jones,
or you could say, hey, this is our offer based on what you did last season: 3,800, 20, and 12. Is that $53 million worth?
Signing that deal. They're not. Listen, man. Brock Purdy is
No. I'm not saying he's not, but for once they need to play hardball, man. They need to play hardball for once.
I don't think now was the time to play hardball with Brock's deal when the coaching staff is in flux as well. They just lost, bro. Like for me, if this deal doesn't get done this year, you can forget about the season. They're not winning anything. It's a human sport, bro. You can't go into the locker room saying that Brock is our guy. This is a guy that we're behind, and then you haggle him down at the negotiation table.
But that's why I wouldn't have never walked out there saying Brock is the real deal. Brock is our guy. Off of one season, I would have learned from Jimmy and said, "Let me keep my mouth shut and let me just."
There is a world, and a lot of people don't like this, but we're gonna do this and wrap it up. There is a world where a lot of Brock's praise early on was to shield the failures of Trey Lance. They didn't want culpability. So we gotta pump up Brock, because the more we pump up Brock, it's like, dude, who cares about how we screwed Trey up when we finally found our guy? And let me tell you how much of our guy he is. That's how that kind of came through. But hey, let's switch to the schedule. What do you got for the schedule? How do you got us finishing out?
I didn't go game by game because I like to see a lot of those games are going to be based on injuries. What teams are hurt, certain things like that. So, and we don't have a lot of depth. We can't afford to have any injuries at all because we don't have significant depth on this team. So I got us between, I would say 7 and 10, 6 and 11.
Hey, thanks, bro. Hey, I'm gonna get at you. I love the call, man. I love
Yes,
the
sir.
energy too, brother. Thank you for waiting as well. Thank you, man.
Hey, man, it's all good, bro.
I'll talk to you. The greatest. Let's go. You're muted. You're muted. We're going lightning rounds,
Sorry
guys.
about
We're
that.
going
Sorry about
lightning
that.
rounds.
Hey, yeah, I'll get in and out short
All
and
right.
sweet. How you doing? Been
I'm
watching
doing
your
good,
show for a
brother.
minute, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the support.
But I don't think that he is compared to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo paid what? He went what? His first year with us in 2017 went what? 5-0, right? To end the season, and then got paid the highest in the league, right? Brock had to play what? 2 years, 2 and almost a half, right?
2.5 years.
So right then and there, right? Boom. That's a difference. And then another thing too, right? The fact that he's injury prone, his biggest injury was the offseason. Yeah, it happened in the playoff game, but by the time the next season came around, he was ready to go. Came in, had an MVP caliber season, right?
True.
And then last year, he missed 2 games, right? But one could argue, right, if we were better, maybe he plays in one of those games, if not both of them, because I don't think they were that significant, right? So I think they were just, wrapping him up because they knew that we weren't going to make the playoffs, right? And another thing, we all know that we were super injured last year, right? Bunch of tragedies, right? I think that right there, that it was just a horrific
weird year.
season, right? All around. But I can think of 3 games off the top of my head where 2 of them against the Cardinals and the Rams, we had 10-point fourth quarter leads and our defense choked, right? And then I could think of another game against the Hawks where we lost, where the defense gave up a game-winning touchdown to Geno on like a 20-yard scramble, right? And then you could also argue, right, his numbers aren't bad considering all the injuries. Debo was washed, right? Brandon Ayuk did not look good due to the holdout up to the injury, right? CMC played, 2 games and didn't come into week 8, 9, 10, something like that, right? So, and then what do you call it? He still put up decent numbers. If you take a few of those games that our defense lost us or our special teams lost us, we're at 9, 10 wins last year with a banged up, injured, completely depleted team, right? So I don't think it's fair to just completely put it on Brock that we were 6-11 last year, right? I don't think that's fair at all. And not only that, I think he deserved this contract. I think it's team friendly. I think that he had a right to come in and say, look, we ain't talking unless it's 55 plus, right? He had every reason. His resume is better than a lot of these guys, right? He's a lot of people deflate talent with how good you are at performing a task, right? You could be the best quarterback in the NFL without being the most talented, right?
Right.
Like we see guys with all the arm strength, prototypical or old school prototypical 6'5" guys, right? Big arms, cannons, right? That suck, right? But you got to be able to process in this game, right? You got to be able to be smart. And look, his arm isn't completely bad. People act like he could throw 40 yards and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's not throwing 70, 80-yard bombs, but I think it's good enough to win with. He could roll, he could scramble. The Packers and Lions game, mainly the Lions game, if it's not for Brock's legs and a crazy BA catch, we probably don't win that game. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's unfair to him. You know what I mean? And then another thing, too, I don't like the whole bridge quarterback, thing either, because why is it when all these other quarterbacks get big deals, no one's calling them bridge quarterbacks, right? And then if we're going off the logic, right, that every team's looking for a better quarterback, right? Oh, we're just going to sign this guy. And if we come across a better guy, then so be it. But we're looking for someone better, right? You could argue that theory with any team. Every team is looking to get better at every position, no matter who they got, right? Look at Patrick Mahomes' play the last 2 seasons. It's been ass. He's been carried by defense, run game, right, and special teams, right? And one could argue that they could upgrade, right? Ain't that true? Like, he hasn't been very good. I know he's won a bunch of Super Bowls. He's a future Hall of Famer. I'm just saying, based off the last 2 seasons, the dude hasn't been very good. You know what I mean? So I just think it's unfair. And I think, and look, and not only that, we know that we're not very good on odd years, right? And then last time we lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, we missed the playoffs with a bunch of injuries. Doesn't that sound familiar? So the fact that we have an easy schedule, the fact that, and then a lot of people act like we lost more talent than we did too. I believe our depth isn't very deep, but we still have a lot of foundational pieces. We still have the Bosa, we still have the Warner, we still have the Diamador Lenore, we still have the Trent Williams, the CMC, you know what I mean? Like, if we could stay healthy, you know what I mean? I think that we could be a dangerous team, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, we can get to the schedule now if you want. I just had to go on a low rant.
yeah. I'll let you cook. Go ahead. So what do you got for the schedule? Give me your final prediction for the season.
12-5.
Hey, bro. Love it. I love the passion. I wish I had time to get at you because there was some stuff in there that I wanted to do. But you know what? I really
another time, man.
Yeah, you have
another time.
You have a conviction of your beliefs, and that much I can get behind, bro. Love the call.
Man.
Talk to you later, brother.
Yeah. Hey, salute, man.
Salute. Talk to you. Trav, what's good, brother? What's up?
What's
man,
up,
Trav.
Coach?
My dog,
doing,
man. Oh, you ain't got the old school. You looking good, man. Can you hear me?
Oh, dude. Had to Oh, we're paused. Hold on. No. Coach, come back.
No, I'm here. I'm
We're
here. I'm here.
frozen.
I'm not frozen,
There we
bro.
go. Oh, shoot.
That's it.
We
That's
glitched. My bad. That's probably on my end. My bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Trav. You can talk.
Sweet. Hey, bro. Hey, he got paid. Now we just gotta deal with it and go on. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I mean,
the opportunity doesn't come very often.
Yeah, that's the one thing about him. He's got life-changing money. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. We just got to see what he does as far as being the leader of the team. What were your initial thoughts to the deal?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I mean, at least he's not getting 60 a year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That may just cripple us. But hey, every so often, not very often, and it leaves room.
Awesome. Hey, what do you got for the season, man? What do you think? How are we going to shape up this easy schedule we got coming up?
Hopefully 12-5, but I'm thinking maybe more 10-7, 11-6.
Hey, I love the conviction. Talk to me about let's just derail for a little bit. How's your son?
Oh, he's good. There he is, right there.
Yeah, that's your boy. I know some people have asked, who's that in the background? That's your son. How's your boy doing?
Yeah, that's he's doing good, man. He's out there in your neck of the woods almost. So.
And
he just had a little facial procedure, so he's got some on leave time right now, recovering. But
hey, send our best to him, man. You know we love the troops on this channel. Big supporter of the armed forces.
Yeah, I know it. Hey, thanks for your support, Coach.
Yeah, man. Love to call in again. Trav, hey, hit me up on email, man. I haven't seen an email from you lately, man. Hit me up.
Gotcha. We'll do, Coach.
Talk to you,
brother.
Take it
easy, bud.
All right. And this guy up here who I told this guy I had relentless gratitude. And the day I met, and he's been whooping my ass ever since to show me, no, I'm nicer than you. This is my guy. How you doing, Asa?
Good, man. How's it going? Voice coming through?
Yeah. Oh, you sound perfect, man. I love the Tiffany blue rims. You look good, man.
Oh, yeah. These are my coach glasses. I only put these on when I'm on the phone with you. That's the only time I use them anymore.
Humbled. How you feel, brother?
I'm doing good, man. We're sitting here in sunny Monterey Bay. Let's see. Could we see a little Monterey Bay there from the balcony?
Look at this. He just be stunning.
You see that? You see some bay there?
Hey, you looking good, man.
Yeah, I'm looking awfully sunburnt, aren't I? Am I really that red? Holy crap. I hope not.
Bronze, man. You're bronze. You look good. Get out of here. You look fine.
Yeah. Hey, this is where when you come for the game this year, and when you come down to Monterey, come take a little side trip down here. I'm going to be sitting here with me having some beers on this balcony, all right?
Yeah, we got to kick it and have a good time, man. So tell me about your thoughts with the deal. What'd you think?
It's exactly what was going to happen. I don't know. We've been talking about it and kind of mentally masturbating around it the last few months, but
very true.
Exactly it. They weren't going to like trade him. When you have a quarterback that could actually play, you can't just let him go. And it was either a trade or pay him. This is his market value. They didn't overpay him. There was no like the fantasy of like we're going to get away with paying him $40 million. Forget about it. That wasn't going to happen, right? So right there, they landed right where they should have. It's fair to him. It's right in that Tua range. However you when you slice it down, you could slice it different ways. But it seems like it's probably the first 3 years. If what people are saying about it so far, and the details will come out. Right, there's still more analysis to be done on the contract. But yeah, it's probably right in that Tua range, right in the 40s.
Yeah.
In the first few years,
it's in the low 50s. He's gonna get the 165. He gets 181 guaranteed. The first 3 years is allocated to 165 million of the 181. So in the first 3 years, he's going to be making about $55 million a year. You would have to think that there's an out after the third year. And I don't have a problem with it. We didn't break the bank. And there's other teams that are building depth and have requisite competition and parity amongst their division foes that have quarterbacks that they're paying more money. Right. So, it's up to them to get hey man, do your job. Now you got a quarterback that pays that actually is getting paid like a starting quarterback. Get out there and do your job.
And we'll see what we get out of Brock this year. I think we know what he is, right? We know if we put a really good team around him and kind of everyone else has kind of a shitty year and we stay really healthy, we could get to the Super Bowl, We know that, but that's a lot. That says a lot that not every quarterback that you put a team around them, they're going to perform like that. But we also know if he doesn't have a good team around him, he's not going to like elevate like Mahomes will. But there's only one. That's one of one. What do we want? That's what you got. Take it. Pay him what he's got to do. Keep building. Keep bringing in pieces. Keep drafting well. Either he'll get you to the Super Bowl or someone else will. But it's just the right move to do it. There's just no other. There wasn't any other options, I mean, I probably would have, if it was up to me and I, being like all foolish and temperamental, maybe I would have drafted him if we got like a haul of drafts and went into the draft and got whatever this year. But there was no quarterbacks this year. And who knows what next year will be. There'll be other opportunities. So good, fine, good, fine. There's nothing to really talk about, nothing to get too.
Asa, don't do it to me, man. Please. I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds because Ace is my dog, man. And I know he was in the middle of a really good conversation cooking, but I'm on a time crunch right now. And I'm going to wait for him. You know what I'm saying? I love the look right now. It's kind of like, there he is. He's back. Let's go.
Right. I guess I should have to stay outside because that's where the Wi-Fi is. But anyway, man, so I think that's that. And really, the only thing I wanted to kind of, I don't really want to talk about anything, but look, man, let's a quick review of the off season, with everything aside. A few interesting things have happened, I think, from like the early in the off season. I think Shanahan got clipped. He got his wings clipped, right? Those Kawakami Silver articles that came out early. And they're like, this guy, he acts all crazy. He's very emotional. I think that was the organization front office saying, Kyle, no more GM for you. Just be your coach, do your thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's important. That's huge. And I think Shanahan's okay with it. I think he's all right with it.
He looks relieved. I got to be honest. I've been pleased with Kyle's demeanor and almost all of the interfaces that we've had throughout the offseason. He looks rested. He looks more relaxed. Last season, man, he looked like it was mid-season in week 1.
Yeah.
Like honestly, bro. Like at one point he looked homeless. Like after that Bills game, his hair was all down his face. I was like, golly. Like Kyle looks like Richard Simmons. Like it was bad.
Yeah. I think the organization's in a nice trajectory. Things have changed. Last couple of years, I've been bitching up a storm. I haven't been happy with this. Even in the Super Bowl year, I wasn't that happy. I wasn't happy with the way the team, I wasn't happy with the way the locker room works. That kind of, the frat boy hierarchical system that Shanahan allowed to develop or developed himself. However, that has to stop. You can't have these cores and non-core players. A team is a team. You gotta the coach has to know enough not to let that happen and not to allow that to develop in the locker room. But no, I think we're okay now. I like it. I think the Yorks are doing a decent job. I think the off season is exactly what they needed to do. This was the year to purge. Last year was the year to purge. We didn't do it.
The year to purge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this year you had to purge hard, and that's great. And I don't know what was the thing though. The only thing I regret about the offseason, what I really would have liked to have done, I didn't want a lot of free agency spending, but man, if they could have picked up Dahlman, you would have. Even if it would have cost you, that could have been your one expenditure for the offseason. They didn't. I think it's going to cost them. It may derail the rebuilding. I mean, because what the fuck are we going to do next year? There's no guarantee we're going to have an offense
next year.
There's no guarantee we'll have one this year. You don't know what you're going to get with Trent this year. You don't know.
That's true.
I don't know.
I haven't seen him. They're talking
even
about
for a Hall of Fame player like that.
Field.
Yeah, if you're not motivated to play, and I don't think he's that motivated to play, you're not going to get the Trent of old. We'll see. CMC, okay. Remember medical background a little bit here, right? I'm very worried about that. We're being very Pollyannish about CMC. He got bilateral tendonitis, overuse injury, correct? In the beginning, in the offseason, before training camp. I think those tendons are done. I don't think, he might be doing okay right now. He's been rehabbing. I don't think those tendons are going to get through a season, man. So we better not be depending on CMC for much. Whatever the long-term plan is.
Well, you gotta pace him out. That's the biggest thing with CMC is that he cannot be used as a bell cow back.
No, absolutely not.
That he just can't turn around and stick it in CMC's stomach and let him go. It can't happen.
It cannot, man. Medically, that's not going to work.
I think that's why they get the kid from Oregon. I believe that they're going to do running back by committee this year. I hope they do.
I hope so.
He's not going to finish the season.
He may not even get very far in the season. Quite frankly, we don't even know. He might just be a tad bit slower, and it just may not work like it used to. And he's still going to be a route runner, right? You could use him in some capacity, but you better be ready. You better be ready to accept that CMC is a third down back, even though he's got that huge extension and this and that and the other. So medically, that's people are like understating what a weird injury that was. That was very weird to show up to mini camp with that. I mean, I could see if it developed halfway through the season, but it's like, man, if you're showing up to mini camp with tendonitis, what's going to happen through the season? That ain't going to work.
Tendonitis is a degenerative injury too, so it's not something that just happens overnight. It's something that it's a wear and tear injury. So
exactly,
it doesn't just go away. It's
micro tears. They're micro tears in the tendon. Exactly.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is that what kind of gets the tendonitis is the inflammation of the usage. So really, he's kind of like burning the candle at both ends, and we're just waiting for Christian McCaffrey to kind of go down. Now, it's not that we're hoping on an injury, but there is an ebb and flow that if you do intelligently use him, you can give Christian time off to say, okay, he had a heavy day. He sits down for 2 days. He had a heavy practice. Yeah, you got to get him through the season. Kyle doesn't use Christian that way, and he's got to do it this year in order for them to succeed. But I want to switch gears real quick into your season predictions. Close us out. What do you got us going? I know it's way too soon, but give me a quick record.
I think everyone's over-exaggerating. I wouldn't be surprised if we have another 6-10 season. I'm all right with that. We're rebuilding, man. I call it what you want. We're rebuilding. I don't know game to game. We could go again a game if you want, but it's really hard to do that. But what I see is a team that is going to be the rookies have to play. We just don't have this is not 2020 after the 20 or 2021 after the 2020 injury filled season. It's just not that. That was a young team coming off of a Super Bowl. This is now a brand new team, a rookie team recently. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go 6-10 or even worse or a little bit better. And I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as the rookies are being played, they're developing, as long as, Kyle is like being positive and the energy's good and he's not getting all like, what Kyle gets to be like if he's like kind of things aren't going his way. As long as we understand we are a rebuilding team now. And, things will go where they will go. We're rebuilding. That's it. No expectations.
Amen.
Don't expect playoffs. Don't expect any of that. But it depends on how it looks, right? It depends on are we back to like CMC every fucking week? No one else could get on the field. Why the fuck not? Why are we not doing that? Are we not even going to try to, is Brendel going to stink it up and like, be terrible and still no one else gets on the field? No. Then I'm going to get mad. Then I'll be, why the hell are we 6-10? Huh?
And we don't want that. We don't want you mad, man.
No. Then you want to it's like, get in there. And if we lose, that's all right. As long as you're building. Our target is 3 years from now. That's it. It's not going to happen this year.
Yes. That's realistic.
Yeah. Right. And if you hurry it up and you try to do it this year or next year, you're going to screw up the long-term plan. There has to be a trajectory. You're putting the pieces together block by block. And if you don't do it that way, like one of the legs aren't going to be going to fall over and the whole structure is going to topple. Offensive line is going to be an issue this year, and it's going to be hard to rebuild next year. But hey, I thought a defensive line was going to be an issue. I'm feeling good about it right now.
Hey, listen, this is the most sane and based view of where the 49ers stand right now. That's exactly how we feel. I mean, right now, you'd be a horrible content creator because you just give away the plot right away. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
What you said is 1,000% the truth. We're gonna have to wait a couple of years, guys.
And you got Coach and Jesse and Grant and that crew. We're the you guys are the kind of the skeptical content creators. What do the other ones say? So that's the way it goes.
It's really nice. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like we iron sharpens iron, and we've been doing this forever. So you can't win every year. So part of the season, as far as content is concerned, part of the season is telling the truth, killing the lies, and giving and asking what's next. That's really what it is.
Exactly, man. So listen, brother, I'm going to let you go. You've had a long day, man. You're working hard today. And listen, I'm no joke about you. When you get out here for the game, I'd love it if I'll come up to the game. We'll go to the game together or whatever. But I'd love it if you guys come down and visit. Bring your lady. This is a really cool part of the country to see if you haven't seen it. It's a really cool part of the country.
She's probably watching right now. And I'll be like, did you hear what Asa said, baby?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it, man. Hey,
all right, man. I'll try to dig up that email of yours and contact you, but we got some time. Season's got some time.
Man. Yeah, I got you, brother. We'll talk.
I love you. Take care, man.
Love you too, man. Talk to you. Bye. Hey, let's get some super chats out of the way that we get gone. Travis Stewart, $4.99. Thank you. What y'all got to say now? That boy got paid. Nice job, Brock Purdy. What up, coach? Stay blessed. They are now married to their QB, NWO for Kyle. Hey, it is what it is. That's one thing that I love about it is that these guys got their man. Now get it done. Asa with the 50 bow. What's up, coach? Exciting times. Loving these wins of change. More rooks, less Shanahan meddling and Salah. And I guess Purdy too. He got exactly what the market dictated. I agree with that. People pay the coach, man. This is my dog. Content doesn't grow on trees, Taroff. Gratitude. Hey, man, this dude be knowing, man. It takes time to do this for y'all. PDX 49 or 199, thank you. You going to training camp again? You know I'm going to training camp again. It's going to be dope. Me and Jesse will be at training camp. Bear Truth 999, coach, do you think the organization's main focus is to build a team to compete for a trophy now? Or we seeing a theme, or we seeing them trying to sell to the fans they try to compete but realize they're far from it? I believe that it's the latter, not the former. I think they know exactly where they stand. And they don't, it doesn't help the bottom line to come out here and say, guys, don't get excited for anything this year because we know we're not going to win. Ergo, all of these new logos and new jerseys, and look at the Niners' new colors and our new press layout and stuff that just doesn't matter. So look, you understand. I love the fact that Asa came on here and basically gave it to you raw and uncut. It's going to take some time. And the first building block has happened. We got our draft. We got our quarterback. So let's move forward. Hey, Before we get out of here, I want to let you guys know I'll be back on Monday with Jesse with Cover 2, and we will be back on Tuesday with the 4-man front. This is your coach. Stay low and keep your feet moving. I'll talk to y'all.